Chapter 7 is Get Sick of Feeling Sorry for Yourself.
Howdy, this here's Professor U.D. Guru. Today's guest lecturer is me, Professor U.D. Guru. The title of today's movie is Stop Looking for the Otherworldly. This is the other world, and you are the creative force. Let's talk about verispect. Verispect in general is the notion, or fact, if you're me, because I believe this, that you create your own world. Infinity is infinity, and out of infinity, which is the raw material, also known as awareness, you create your world and I create mine. Verispect. I do believe in what they call objective reality, the solid physical world. Yeah. Not everything in the world is solid and physical. But what did I just say? The world? I didn't mean to say the world. I meant to say in your world, you have physical stuff. The objective world. The one that you and your friends in your world, your other dream characters in your dream, can see together, touch at the same time, and discuss as if it actually existed. Same with my world. I have an objective reality too. That's why I don't jump off cliffs, out of windows, and I don't play on the freeway. Raw consciousness, that is infinity, can't be described. You can talk about it, but you can't talk about it accurately or completely because it's infinity. But the individual comes into being when the universe becomes aware of itself, seeing itself from some perspective. This perspective, as a general pattern which defines that individual, is his configuration, or what I call his truvamical. So you might say the world is projected as light through your truvamical, and your perception is the world that you see at any given moment. The individual comes into existence because we, who are each representations of infinity, manage somehow to break infinity up into parts. As the Buddhists and Hindus put it, the world is an illusion. We pretend to break the universe up into parts, and then we play with the parts. That's the world. We are players, and the world is our mind toy, our mind experiment. And when you break the universe up into parts, you are one part. You're where the perception is, and the world is the rest. The world is mostly a flat screen, a two-dimensional image, like a mirror upon which we project what we imagine to be, based on the arrangement of our truvamical. But not just the universe, but the world also can be broken up into parts. We have to distinguish the universe is oneness, infinity, everything, including the parts you can't know about, don't know about, and will never know about. Infinity. No limits, no lines drawn on it, nothing. No end, no beginning, no time, just infinity, pure awareness. The world, on the other hand, is what we perceive as individuals. You have your world, I have mine. Our worlds intersect. Where our worlds intersect, we have so-called objective reality, or the objective world, the physical world. The more people see something, the more likely it is to be true. The more real it seems. The more three-dimensional it is, the more solid it is. So the world, and not just the universe, but also the world, can be broken up into parts too, and that's what the world is. It's a bunch of parts stuffed together in certain arrangements. We go through life with this nagging feeling that there must be more. There has to be a purpose. There has to be a reason for all this. Occasionally we experience a sense of awe, almost fear, that existence it first happened to me when I was sitting in church, and not because I was listening to the preacher, but because I couldn't listen to the preacher. He was putting me to sleep. So I started thinking, what is infinity? What is existence? Why do I exist? What is this? It's a sense of awe and being unable to describe it. It's hard to even believe that we even exist. What? No wonder there's religion and philosophy. You can't get it all from a book. You got to experience the world too. And then what is it that I'm experiencing? How did this happen? Infinity broke itself up into parts, and the individuals that notice their existence, some of them keep coming back to the same portal and keep looking through the same portal. That's called the days of our lives. Life must have a meaning. If it doesn't, we're going to make one up, because we kind of need that, some of us. So we engage in spiritualistic and religious practices in hopes of achieving something better than just plain old ordinary everyday existence. What we fail to see, because we can't see anything else except what is, you can only remember part of the past, you can only foresee part of the future. It's very much not three-dimensional. And what we fail to see, like the forest and the trees, because we can't see anything else, like the fish that said to his friend, "What is this water you keep talking about?" What we fail to see is that everything around us, mere existence, that is infinity. That is the spiritual realm. That is everything right there. And infinity is all there is. All there ever was, all there ever will be. In fact, you can't even use time words to describe it. You can if you want, but it's not very helpful. In my dreams, when I really pay attention, I have a silent companion. It's another person whose presence I sense, but I don't see him. I don't really talk to him. But oftentimes I know what they're thinking. That's the rest of the world in person form. But we are dream characters. I'm a dream character. You're a dream character. Life is a dream. All experience is made the same way, by perceiving it. How much of what you see right now can you reach out and touch? Not very much, but oddly enough, what you can reach out and touch right now is infinite. You could never describe everything that you can reach out and touch right now, even if you're in an empty room. Infinity, that's what you see right now. Infinite detail, no matter where you are, in an empty room. Close your eyes, same thing. Close your eyes. What do you see, blackness? I don't. You got to be honest with yourself. Close your eyes, you don't see blackness. You see every color in the rainbow, dots and streaks, and you see motion. You see scene upon scene upon scene, and they're all piled on top of each other, obscuring each other, blocking each other out. Well, one thing you can do, I call this unworldly, is you learn to see the one on top. They also call it hypnagogia or hypnagogia. Hypnagogic images. You lay down, close your eyes. You see, you look at those dots, you look at those streaks, there's a little blob of red, there's a little blob of blue, they're moving around. Maybe you can put something in. I like to look for an X. I like to look for a spiral. Put something there. The world is made with perception. You perceive the world into existence, and the world can change from one thing to another in a heartbeat. All experience is made the same way. And when you're alone in the forest, you're much more likely to see Bigfoot than when you're there with a group of people. When you're driving alone out on a deserted highway at night, you're much more likely to see a UFO than you are on a crowded road. Because there are some things that don't really fit in multiple people's worlds at the same time. We create the world by talking to ourselves about things, about the world, about other people, about our experiences, about what's going on, about what we remember, about what we hope for, about what we hope not to have happen. It's this constant mind chatter. The internal dialogue creates the world. If you're tired of the world the way it is, change the chatter. Stop the talk. I call this Blaffenwagel. You just stop. Don't think about anything. See how long you can do it. Maybe a second or two. Maybe you can do it for a long time. But if you want to change the world, then stop the inner dialogue. Carlos Castaneda said, stopping the inner dialogue is everything. The rest is just padding. We are dream characters, the mind people of Earthville. When you stop talking to yourself, you feel the same as when you're in a lucid dream, or as I call it, an unworlding. When you interact with another dream character in a so-called dream or in a so-called waking experience, the experience becomes more real, more physical. Your formerly imaginary playmate becomes a person, which is a pretty good explanation for some people wanting to avoid interaction with others. People who are afraid, people who don't cope very well with being afraid, because we're all afraid. What happens when you suddenly become aware of your own existence? I think that what happens is you are afraid. Fear is the primal emotion. All emotion is a cover-up of that fear, that primal fear of existence. Now what am I going to do? I exist, and there's nothing I can do about it. This is scary. I've been talking about oneness. I've been talking about two-ness. Two-ness is when you break the universe up into parts, when you break the world up into parts, when you break the parts up into parts. That's analysis. You break the parts into parts, you know. Two-ness, four-ness, which is the second harmonic of two-ness. Four-ness is when you put the parts in order, but in between two-ness and four-ness is three-ness. That's when the parts go together, when the parts come together in, say, categories, for example. Like things, like attracts like. Everything has gravity. Gravity is stuff that matters. You care about stuff that matters. The more you care for somebody, the more you care about them. This is the quandary of parents everywhere, most parents, good parents. Threeness is reflection. You look in a mirror, what do you see? You see something that looks the same as you. That's threeness. Everything is a reflection. The world is a reflection of you. The spirit is not in and out of the body. You know, they talk about out-of-body experience, so I call it unworlding. The spirit doesn't enter and leave the body. There is no body. There is no spirit. These are just words. These are just descriptions. The individual experiences himself in many different ways. In dreams, you may not even have a body. Or you assume that you do. You write a story. If you write your dream down, you write about it. Maybe you experience your feet. Maybe you experience your hands. Maybe you look in a mirror and you say, hey, that's not even me. Because in dreams, you're not you. That's what dreams are for. The individual must be held together. The configuration of an individual, it has to be held in that pattern. It doesn't stay there by itself. It has to be held in that pattern. And that is you. That's your identity. Your true vamical has to be held together. And when you become fatigued, you can't hold it together and you can't keep it together. You have to close your eyes and you just be somebody else for a while. You relax it. You have to relax that tension that holds the world together. Experience different worlds. You got to let everything slide. And then when you wake up in the morning, you have to force yourself back in sometimes, depending on who you are. Maybe you're one of those people who wakes up alert. Well, if so, you probably already know about unworlding. It's probably easy for you. If you're someone like me who craves sleep, unconsciousness, escape, then unworlding might be hard for you. Spirit, mind, body, personality, individuality, the self is all the same thing. I'm a lumper, not a splitter. It's all the same thing. Body, mind, world, they each reflect the true vamical, the pattern through which the light of awareness shines. So you got you got who you are, what you're like, and you got the world. But it's all the same thing. You can call it what you want, but it's all the same thing. In a dream as well as in the daily world, the recurring dream that you come back to every morning, when you get interested in something, it solidifies. You start seeing it everywhere. That's why they have social media springing up. It's all part of the dream. Social media reflects how the world works. It's an echo chamber because that's how the world works. Like attracts like. Everything has gravity, threeness. That's what matters to you. What you care about. What you care about becomes more solid and more real. But at the base of it all, reality with a capital R is infinity. And it can't really be described. The unknown is not going away. But your world is your world and my world is mine. The news, social media, government, schools, religion, family, culture, everything in your world reflects your true vamical, your configuration. There's always the question, can I change my true vamical? Can I change that basis? Well, I don't know. I'll let you know when I decide. The thing about the Unworld-At-Large, which, you could call the dream world or the astral plane or whatever, heaven, hell, whatever you want to call it. In Unworld-At-Large, thought manifests instantly. So you think about a pink unicorn and one appears. You think about a pack of cigarettes and one appears. You think about a big rock, one appears. So dream characters out in the unworld get caught in these repeating loops, like a ghost that haunts the same place that he's used to and doesn't want to leave. Repetition is what causes stability, solidity. The unworld has a special place, probably more than one, but who actually knows? An offshoot of the unworld. I call it the Earthville Mental Institution. That's just a joke. I'm not saying we're all crazy. We just act like it about half the time. We're all a bunch of nutbags here. We're all bozos on this bus. We're all here because this is our vibe. This is what we resonate with. This place. We need it for some reason. We want it. This is what we want, like. We're here for a reason. We're here to experience this place. You have your place, I have mine. We each create our separate worlds. When you come back to the same place over and over and over in the recurring dream called life, it's solid, it's stable, it's more predictable. but is not perfectly predictable by any means, which proves that it's still the unworld. It's still a dream because it never stops changing. You can't make it stop changing. Go into an empty room that's completely dark. You can't make it stop changing. You close your eyes. You can't make it stop changing. You will see something happen. If you go in a cave and spend the rest of your life, you might go blind, but you'll still see things happening. You will still perceive a world or a collection of worlds. Manifestation slows down when things get solid. Everything slows down. Molecules slow down. Everything slows down in the solid world. Manifestation has to be waited for. You can wait years for your obsessive thoughts about some deep interest of yours to manifest, but it always will, as long as you let go of it, because there's a balance. I call it Metsuki, the balance between focus and detachment. Focus, 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 and then detach and manifestation. It's not that simple because the conscious mind can't control these things. The conscious mind is just a small part of us, and we don't understand that part of us any better than we understand anything else. What if the world sucks? What do you do then? Go for a walk. In the park, in the mall, around the block. When you encounter another person, the look on his face will reflect your inner state. He's part of your world. The whole world reflects your inner state, whatever that might be. Direct action, attempting to make a change of something, creates resistance, which is friction, effort turning into heat. When you look out upon the world, you see yourself. So, how to fix the world? Fix yourself, and the world will adjust itself in the mirror of perception to reflect the new you. If you want to stop trying to fix the world, accept yourself. And if you want to stop trying to fix yourself, accept the world. You're having a 100% spiritual experience at all times. And you are creating your own world by the choices you make, including your choice of how to interpret what you see going on out there, including how you choose to feel about things. So, self-acceptance is the beginning, middle, and end of self-improvement. This is Professor UD Guru. Thanks for showing up. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.